Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Speed here, and I've been saying it. CGC is raising their prices again. By the way, if you are sort of new to this whole CGC thing, their prices used to be $8 a card and $5 for subgrades, meaning about $13 per card. Actually, less if you had a membership. It was more around $12 per card with subgrades. $7.20 without. Then they raised it to $7 a subgrade and $9 per card. Okay, very reasonable. Only $1. Demand was going up rapidly. Very, very understandable. But, recently they've done it again. Prices have raised. I was calling it. I was saying it on this channel. I think other people were too. Frankly, I'm not alone on this, but there was definitely a lot of people who were saying, nah, they're going to keep it the same. They need something to separate themselves from PSA. But now, what's really funny, you don't really need much to separate yourself from PSA because you can't use PSA. You just can't use them. So I'm really not going to go too much into depth on like everything they said in this article. To keep it real simple, bulk is $15. Economy is $25, standard is $35, express is $60, and walkthrough is $125. The main one that people really use CGC for by a large margin is the bulk. And yeah, that's up $6. And you're like, okay, well, that's like not too bad, right? It's pretty bad. What is that, like a 70% increase or something like that? It's pretty bad. But you know what's worse? Subgrades are now $10 a card. So that is also up $3 a card, meaning a bulk subgraded card is $25 more. Which frankly, with the current way the market is, and we'll look at some examples, we'll take some quick looks at some prices on eBay and basically compare, like, is there any profit margin? Assuming you're doing this flipping. If you're doing this for collecting, well, that sucks. I guess you'll just have to pay the extra amount. But if, let's say, you're doing it for flipping, well, it also sucks. But is there any margin for subgraded cards or non-subgraded cards? We'll spend a little bit of time doing that. And also another thing I want to say, is this normal? I thought it was like 114 days. Now bulk, I don't know when this changed, or if I just missed it, or I'm just blanking out. You guys could correct me in the comments. When was this 144 days? I have no idea. But that's a long time. How many months is that? 7? Not 7. 5? Yeah, about 5 months. And it's going to take a lot longer than 5 months. So if you're submitting for CGC, just a little bit of context, guys. If you're submitting today, you send it in today, it will likely take about 7 months to get your cards back. I just had an order that got back in around 4 months. However, at the time when I sent in the cards, the current turnaround was 60 days. Less than half of this. Less than half. And this is more than half. And I'm saying 7 months, right? So maybe 7 months is even low. I'll be real. It's brutal right now. The game is brutal. Now, I'd like to talk about a couple things as we get into some of the eBay prices and take a look around at some of the eBay prices. I also want to mention that a lot of people are saying don't submit cards at all. You cannot submit low-value bulk cards. And while, I agree, like you can't submit a reverse hollow Caterpie from Evolutions. You can't submit that and make $5 on it anymore. While I do agree with that, I think I don't know. I'm not a fan of this like whole scare thing. Like I could clickbait the video, and trust me, I clickbait tons of videos. But I could clickbait this video and say like, don't submit any cards, and that's fine, by the way, because it's actually largely true. But at the same time, like people could have told you not to submit cards 3 years ago, like bulk cards. Let's say this is a good example. I think, like a base set unlimited Charmander. Okay. If someone said, like, oh, it has a mark in the top, it's going to get a 9. 3 years ago, even though I don't have exact price memory on it, I would imagine that you probably wouldn't make anything. Or maybe $5. I don't know. Obviously, I'm guessing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is 3 years ago, you shouldn't have submitted your bulk to PSA. And PSA took 3 months to get your cards back. And was like $7.50 a card if you had certain deals going. And so, that would be incredibly bad advice. Right, incredibly bad advice. Now, extreme things happen. I'm not trying to look past the idea that whatever just happened in the last 6-8 months of Pokemon was unprecedented and absurd. But the reality is, it's very easy for people to say that. So the correct advice is, if you enjoy the process, you have some good value cards, you think they'll get high grades, I would still submit them. Now, it's not really the best time to do it right now, but if you're looking to flip, and let's say here's a good example. This 9.5 Skyla, okay? Let's say I had this raw. Actually, let's do a quick look. I think this will be interesting. If I had this card raw, Shiny Star V Skyla, it would cost about, I think it's about 50 bucks. Oh, shit, my bad. Not the Shint Star V Skyla. I think it's about a $50 card, if I'm not mistaken. 40, 30, $36, $40, $45. Wow, PSA 10, 250, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so about $30. Let's say $35. $35, okay? This is $35. Now, let's take a quick look at the CGC last sold, which I know the sold listing. It's, yeah, I guess I'll break it to you guys. It's $100. $100, right? And so even with a $25 price point, if you think your card looks great and it's Japanese cards are most likely to get a 9.5. Don't believe me? If you don't think that's true, go look at my last CGC submission. You're probably going to get a 9.5. Not a guarantee, obviously. Make sure you look at the centering, but even the Skyla, if you guys can see here, I don't know, it's a bit small, I'm sure, but it doesn't even have the best centering. The right to left is certainly off. I actually wasn't convinced this card would get a 9.5. It did. Very happy about that for this card in particular, even though I didn't get a single 10. Yeah, but $107.50 for 9.5. Obviously, even with, and that's no subgrades, by the way, so $15, probably like $16, $17 after all shipping costs and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's obviously worth it. Right, and so there's still room to do stuff even now. Obviously, this price could change, of course. It's going to change, is what I should say. It's going to change, but like everyone who's telling you like don't grade cards anymore and there's no options, and I mean that's a very safe thing to say, like that the market's gonna drop, which is what a lot of people are saying. Obviously, it's like, oh, don't grade anything, the market's gonna drop. Well, I think that's true, and frankly, I'm gonna hesitate to grade most of my cards. There's still gonna be opportunity. There's still stuff to do. Yeah, the market might drop. It's going to drop, like every market in the world at some point. It's like the market's gonna go up. I'm a genius. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at a couple of examples at some cards and basically see like, hey, with $15 a card, is there still room on anything, on certain cards? Let's take a look. So let's skip over this one. Here's a good example to start, an 8.5. Now, this is a pretty low grade. This is definitely a low grade. $28 for an 8.5. It is a promo. Promos tend to be a bit tough to grade, only because, like, they're not in a pack. They, like, for the Hidden Fates tin, they're kind of just, like, stuck in something. They're actually, like, wedged in stuff sometimes. So it's very hard to actually get good grades on these, from what I've seen. I haven't looked at the numbers, but that's what I've heard and seen. So there's that. And at $28 a card, this card is about $7 raw. So you got what, $22? I'm gonna say about 23 after, including a bit of like fees and stuff, maybe 24. Yeah, there's no profit margin. You're actually gonna lose money after eBay fees if you have 8.5s, right? But it's close. The only problem is you're tying up a lot of capital, right? That's always the dilemma. It's very easy for me to say, like, yeah, you can make $1, $2. At worst, you'll lose $1. So go ahead, submit it. But the problem is you're tying up all that capital, and I know that's a big deal, right? I mean, obviously, I understand that. And so let's move on. Here we got, this one has subgrades. I don't know. I'm personally not interested in subgrades. If you guys are, well, you could always do your own research. But for my own interest, oh, this is cool. That's just a cool first edition card. Very cool. Oh, it's Japanese. Interesting. Here's a good one. Oh, no. Frick. Subgrades. Frick. Okay. Nice. So, CGC 9. It's definitely like a pack fresh card. Pretty standard. Pack fresh vintage Persian. Okay. It's unlimited too, which is even better news. Because first edition then would probably go for a bit more. What did it say it sold for? Yeah, okay, it's $37. So, which actually seems pretty high. I guess it's a vintage 9. People just like investing in vintage, which I think makes sense. Even CGC cards, even during this like whole phase of like, so many people grading cards, I still think it's pretty reasonable. But where is it? $37. What is this card raw? I guess we'll take a quick look. And this is where we'll end the video. We'll go over this Persian then end there. But I have a good time doing this, and hopefully you guys take some value out of this. But let's see. Persian. It's going to be a little bit hard to find. Persian near mint, jungle, unlimited. Yeah. Let's see what we get. I'm going to assume it's about a $10 card, something like that, right? Maybe it's a bit higher. Light played. Near mint. You don't know if it's actually near mint though. Guess we'll have to look around, but you could probably find a pack fresh copy for $10 if you looked hard enough. You know, I guess it's more so about buying lots and just finding what you can. Like, these lots are probably super value, if I had to guess. Honestly, even if you were to grade them and get like 8s, I guess at the new prices it's kind of rough though. Yeah, it's probably a bit rough. But all right, yeah, it's a little bit hard for me to find a good copy. I would say, like, let's take a look at this. It's probably, they're saying near mint. It's probably not near mint. Come. I mean, dude, like, what is this person doing, dude? Like, first of all, why did you clump it up like this? You couldn't take a worse photo. Like, why is it on top of other cards? And then, why not at least try to clean it? Like, try. Just try. If you're gonna, I guess they don't want to spend the time, right? Which I guess makes sense. You're selling a dollar card anyway, but near mint. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. That is absolute dog, is what I'll say. Okay, but nonetheless, like, I think this is decent. You know, if let's say you even open a pack. Okay, I think this is a better example. Let's say you open a pack, you just happen to have some jungle cards lying around, which I know a lot of people do, or a good amount of people do. Yeah, I would say still get it graded. You know, if it's pack fresh, I would say go for it, right? You're not gonna make, because people don't like buying these vintage cards online for a good reason. You know, because this. Why would you ever buy? Like, even if the photo was better, you know, you don't know with vintage stuff, because a lot of it's just, this is why people are willing to pay for the graded cards, because they don't want to take the chance. Even if it looks good in a photo, people don't want to take the chance. But they know if it's in a slab, you know, they're gonna have a good odds, right, of it being actually what it is. You know, almost guaranteed odds. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Nonetheless, yeah, get your submissions in as soon as possible. I'm definitely going to be getting probably in one submission. I don't really know. Probably. But right, box break likely this Sunday for anyone who watched to the end. Everything's going to be done live. Very excited. The last one was great, by the way. For everyone who subbed to the channel and was there, we had a great time. 2 Charizards were pulled from Evolutions. Pretty nuts. That's not the first time that's actually happened, though. From Evolutions, we've had that happen a couple times now. Two streams where we've had 2 Evolutions Charizards pulled. And, yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.